please stand by for the YL Ladies Step on the WWH GMA Theater. Scan 4 DEF, this is Scan 4 ETZ, over.
This is AG4YL, and the YL UpNet will be starting in just a couple of minutes. Trying to get through a few Echolink computer phones. Again, the YL UpNet will be starting in a couple of minutes. AG4YL. The YL net will kick off in just a minute. AG4YL is working through a couple of computer issues. We'll be live in just a minute. AG4YL.
Net control for this evening's net. We meet every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Echolink ALARA conference node. Be sure to invite all WILs you know to join us. We ask that only WILs or licensed young lady ham radio operators check in and participate. The purpose of this net is to encourage you to become and stay active with amateur radio, help each other improve our operating knowledge and skills, and have fun. For more ham fun between weekly nets, check out the new WildNet Facebook group. During the net, be sure to join us in the NFARL Do-Drop-In chat room by opening any web browser and going to nfarl.dodropin.org. Just put your name, call sign in the box, and then click log in. WILs who would like to check in, give us your call sign, name, and current location, and don't forget that there is a 3 to 4 second delay when transmitting through Echolink. This is Melanie AG4YL. We will now begin taking check-ins. Please call now.
MJOABT, Jenny O'Hare, UK. Good morning, ladies.
This is
AE7MB, Margaret, Battleground, Washington.
This is KC9ZH in Albany, Illinois.
Infinite Wyoming.
KC9YL, Wisconsin.
KC8TKY, Linda, Knox, Indiana.
In Washington.
W5MQC, Michelle in Oklahoma.
WA4YL, Glenn in Hudson, Florida.
Kilo Alpha 1, United Lima, November, DC, Andover, Massachusetts.
This is KJ9NYL, Janine in Southern California.
WB1DHT, Connie in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. New Hampshire.
KA7SKY, Sky in Gardner, Washington.
Okay, awesome. Well, we've got a lot of ladies, and I'm certain it didn't help that we were all a little bit late getting started here. Gremlins and all that other good stuff. So let's start with M0HZT Jenny from the UK, AE7MB Margaret from Washington, KC9ZHV Lauren from Illinois, WY7YL Katie, Wyoming. You and Lauren came in almost at the same time, but I got you both. KC9YL Ann, Wisconsin, KC8PKY Linda, Indiana, AB7PS Sarah, I got you in the log. Good to hear you tonight from Washington. W5MQC Michelle, Oklahoma, WA4YL Dawn from Florida, K1UN Nisi, Massachusetts, KJ9NYL Janine from California, WB1DHT Connie from Massachusetts. We had somebody come in and double with Connie from New Hampshire, so I'll ask you in just a moment to come back, and if you'll check in again with me so I can get your name and your call down. KA7SKY Sky from Washington, and of course also joining us in the background, I'm sure, is my alternate net control for this evening, Catherine AC4YL. Go ahead and put her in the log because I know she's out there and probably messing with her own set of gremlins. Could the YL from New Hampshire please call back?
This is KC1GNS Ann in Nashua, New Hampshire.
This is W4MSA Martha in Missouri.
This is Kilo Charlie 8 Uniform Foxtrot Victor, Chrissy in Toledo, Ohio.
Okay, very good. Excellent. I think we have everybody in there now. Thanks for coming back, Ann. You had just come in just behind Connie, and I did pick up the New Hampshire. So we have KC1GNS Ann from New Hampshire. Good to hear you this evening. Martha, thanks for joining us from Missouri today, W4MSA. And Chrissy, KC8UFV from Ohio. And good to hear all of you ladies on this evening. So glad that you could join us. Thank you so much for hanging in there while we were all running just a little bit late and trying to get it together. But, you know, it's even though it's Echolink, it's ham radio, and if it were easy, everyone would do it. So some of the things that came up for us we will go into in a little bit, but everybody, there's a few people on tonight that were in the PEG, Winnipeg, Manitoba for the Clara 50th birthday party and YL meet, and I'm certainly would all love to hear you share your experiences. I know that Ann was up there, and I don't see the other Ann on this evening. Maybe there was only just you on the net this evening, Ann, KC9YL. Would you like to come and tell us about the Clara meet and YL meet up there in Winnipeg, Manitoba, some of the things you did, people that you saw, yada, 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 and share with the group. We'd love to hear from you. KC9YL, AG4YL on the net.
Hi, if you wouldn't mind, could you put me on standby for like about 5-10 minutes? I got a pizza in the oven and have to run upstairs, but I'd be happy to tell you all about it. Back to you.
Oh, very good. Not a problem, Ann. Be glad to come back. There's a few other people here that we're going to acknowledge, and then we'll go to Nisi. I'd love to hear from you as well. But first, let me just acknowledge that we do have Judy with us, N5KUO. Good to see you, Judy. And also, I see that Carol, VA3WHU, has joined us. Very good to see you on this evening as well. I have both of you in the log, and we'll give you everybody a chance to do check-ins again a little bit closer to the 9 o'clock Eastern time hour. I also see that Rosemary, KB4RM, has joined us. Good to see you on, Rosemary. And we started a little bit late for those of you that have joined us late, so you have not missed anything except the check-ins that we've been doing so far. And I see Catherine has noted that Gina KN4UX is in Dewdrop Inn. So I don't see her on the list unless she's moved down to the bottom. Good evening to everybody that's out there, and hope that Catherine is conversing over there in Dewdrop Inn and keeping an eye on things. it's hard for me when I'm doing that control to kind of switch back and forth and sustain a complete thought. It's hard enough as it is. But if I have to go back and forth to do drop in, it's a challenge to be not up to. So let me go ahead and pass this over to Nisi, K-A-1-U-L-N, AG4YL, and Annette. Go ahead, Nisi.
Thanks so much, Melanie. This is Kilo Alpha 1, United Lima, November. Two things real quick. One is, I hope everybody read KM4LAO's articles, and I think she's going back to Saba in the Caribbean. She's going to do that de-expedition. So everybody look out for her. I think it's the first week in August. I think it's August 3rd through 5th. Hopefully she can come here and tell us about it and afterwards. So I'm really excited about that. She's really a smart person. She just went from a freshman to a sophomore in college, and she's doing really well. So I'm really happy about that. Great article wrote. Second thing is, I don't want to time out the repeater. So today I just been on cloud 9. Last night on the Ole Miss net on 40 meters, so I need Hawaii and Alaska for WAS on 40, and there was about 75 people on the net. And Andrea, Kilo 2 Echo Zulu, was one, so she heard this whole thing. So, and I was check-in number 50, and I called when it was my turn. You know, it's already about 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'm in Massachusetts. I called for Whiskey Hotel 6 Sierra. Is a guy in Hawaii. And nothing. He didn't hear anything. Everybody else was trying to call him. Everybody else from all the states, they were trying to call him. They didn't get him. Let me just reset here. KA1ULN. So it was about 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So so I got another chance. About an hour later, didn't do it, about 11 o'clock, and I asked for one last try to get the Hawaii station, and bingo! I said, Whiskey Hotel 6 Sierra, KA1ULN. There he goes, and I heard him clear as day, and you know, the later it is, the better it is on 40 meters, and such a wide distance. And I've just been so excited because the biggest part is because everybody else wanted him. Andrea was in Texas. She's in Texas, and she couldn't even hear him. Everybody else tried to call him, and all I got is a 160-meter dipole up 90 feet and 100 watts. And I'm in Massachusetts, and he was all the way in Hawaii. So I'm very elated today. So back to that. Thank you so much, Melanie.
Awesome. Isn't that just the best when you can do that? I'm still waiting for confirmation from Hawaii. I've talked to Hawaii a couple of times here on the little hamstick dipoles here from Marietta, Georgia, and I know it's hard. It's really hard, and I guess I'm going to have to get some QSLs made and start sending them out so I can actually get my work ill states on 20 for that one. But that's awesome, Nisi. Congratulations on that. And on your previous comment before that, I'm surprised to hear that she's going back out to Saba. I guess they're doing a new thing out there, a new de-expedition. But Atlanta area, Metro Atlanta area's very own Ruth, KM4LAO, is not only a very apt student of amateur radio and of course her advanced courses of study in college, but she is genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing, and just absolutely the most humble. We'll never talk about herself. We'll talk about experiences, but we'll never promote herself. She was on the net last week, and not once did she mention that she had written a nice piece for QST. So August issue of QST, which is the ARRL magazine, you can get a single copy if you're a member. You can check out the digital edition online at arrl.org, and you can also pick up the latest QST at the candy store. So it's wonderful news. Always good to hear good things happening with Ruth. She is very deserving of that and just fantastic. So we also have, let me pause real quick here for a reset. We also have Leah, W3LEO, joining us this evening, as well as K7CJS. CJ has joined us, and WA7AL, Leah, is also joined us for the evening. And all you ladies that did not get an official check-in here at the beginning of the net, we'll give you an opportunity, if you like, to do a more formal check-in with your own voice right around the 9 o'clock hour. Yes, I did get Judy, and I did mention her. She's on up the log a little bit on the last page. I picked her up already somewhere. Yes, I did, right before Carol. So we got Judy, Carol, Rosemary, Leah, CJ, Alita. We got them all. We're good to go here. I don't know. Catherine has. Come on, who is it? Who is it that was over on Dewdrop Inn? Has she come in? From Marietta. Holy cow, there's been a lot of chit-chat going on at Echolink. Okay, anyway. Okay, thank you, Catherine. Yes. Yes, Jeannie, KN for UX, awesome. On Echolink, yes, that's the one. Awesome. You know, Alita, it's somebody once described the net. It's like being in a room with a bunch of sisters, and we all are sisters in amateur radio, and it's fantastic. So I'm so glad you're here, and please do join us, any and all of you ladies, if you have access to a browser. Point that to nfarl.dodropin, and come on in and dewdropin.org, is that right? narful.dewdropin.org. And Casey9YL is back. Hopefully she got the pizza out of the oven. And without any burning, nothing like some hot pizza. But, you know, yeah, that was my Echolink. See, my Echolink timed out, cut me off before I threw any repeaters off the air. And I think that she might be willing to come and talk to us a little bit about Winnipeg. For those that are joining us late, we wanted to talk a little bit about the Clara Birthday Bash and YL Meet that happened last week up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And we would love to hear how it went. And one of our gals here in KC9YL was amongst the festivities. Myself and Catherine, AC4YL, were planning on making it up there, and it, you know, life happens, and sometimes you can't do the things you want to do. So with that, I'm going to pass this over to Ann, KC9YL. Would you like to come back, or are you in the middle of eating pizza? If you're in the middle of eating, I get it. But if you'd like to come and talk to us a little bit about that while your pizza cools down, because you know that cheese is hot, please do so now. KC9YL, AG4YL, and the net.
Good evening. Thanks so much again for waiting for me. I wasn't so much, if you know me, you don't have to worry about anything coming between me and food. So I was just worried about the pizza in the oven, so that's why I had to run upstairs. Got a couple of other things to talk about after the Clara birthday bash, but I will give this to you now. I believe there were 7 of us from the U.S. and 13 from Canada that were in attendance. I met Rosemary, and I also met Ann WB1ARU. That's the only 2 I can think of offhand that are regulars on the check-in list. So had a nice chance to be able to see them live and in person, so certainly enjoyed that. About maybe 4 to 6 spouses were also in attendance. Some were just traveling throughout the country, and some came in specifically for that. One of the things that we did with the group was we got to visit the Royal Aviation Museum, had a nice tour of that. And then also got to do the air traffic control room, and I thought that all the air traffic stuff was like 5 guys up in the tower, and that was all there was. But we saw this huge giant room of the air traffic controllers, and they're each responsible for a certain quadrant, divided like horizontally and then vertically, each with a different area of the country, and then also a different area of height, altitude. So that was very interesting. I had never really seen anything like that or thought that that was a thing. We had 3 evening banquets that we had together that were organized, and 3 morning breakfasts. The food in the hotel was absolutely awesome. We stayed at the Best Western Airport, and the food just could not have been better. The City Police Choir performed at our Wednesday, I think it was, banquet. And they've had 30 years, I think it was, with this original director, so that was kind of fun for us and exciting for them. And we also managed, before the banquet, Echolink net with the VK group, so that was a lot of fun as well. So I'm going to reset. Okay, I flew in on Sunday and left on Saturday, so I was on my own for about 4 days by myself, which was kind of an adventure. Usually I am not quite that adventurous, but had a rental car and made good use of that. I went to see the zoo where I saw polar bears swimming over my head. There was kind of a tunnel of water that was part of the aquarium area, so we got to see polar bears swimming and seals. Human Rights Museum, I didn't see enough of that the first time. I went back the second time. I visited the Art Museum, the Natural History Museum, where I saw a planetarium show that featured the eclipse that's going to be upcoming, so that kind of got me a little excited about that. We went downtown to the Forks, which is kind of like a touristy area with probably 40 ethnic dining and retail areas, which was just a lot of fun. It was a tourist area, but it didn't seem touristy. It was just a lot of fun to be there. Took a boat tour. I took a 2-hour trolley tour throughout the city. Visited the Canadian Mint. One of the highlights actually was a dinner theater that I went to. If you guys are fans of Downton Abbey on PBS, they had a Downton Abbey Road. So it was a murder mystery of Downton Abbey characters set to Beatles music, and it was just hilarious. The servers were all in character and in costume, and the actors were coming in and out around through the audience. It was just really a lot of fun. Winnipeg's an absolutely beautiful town. Not too hard to get around in. They don't have a lot of limited access highways, so that if you make a wrong turn, you can kind of, get off and get right back on again and figure out where you're going. Weather was perfect. We had a little bit of drizzle one day, but otherwise it was just a spectacular trip. So I was glad to be back. A week is a long time for me to be away from home, but had a wonderful, wonderful time. Back to you. This is KC9YL.
Well, Ann, I'm sorry you didn't do anything when you were in the peg. It sounds like you just sat in your hotel room the whole time, bored. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you really had a blast and a ball. I know Catherine and I were very disappointed we had passports and everything ready to go, not be able to complete that trip. However, a big disappointment, I think, for us was meeting our friend Rosie, VE4YYL. She is, I guess I've known Rosie as long as I've been with this net. It was in early 15. So, but we've never met, and her and her husband, Glenn, turned out to be really good friends of mine, and she pops in on the net when she can and is able to, and we were looking very much forward to meeting her and Glenn both and hanging out with them. But it sounds fascinating, the different places that you went, and the Downton Abbey Dinner Theater sounds pretty cool too. But that was kind of neat to see that. We were following some of your Facebook commentary and pictures. That was very good to see and to sort of, in a way, be there, and in another way, we were then really sad we couldn't make it. It was like, oh, I was having so much fun. So that sounds great. Ann, you mentioned that there was something else that you wanted to share with the group. So if you would like to, if you don't have a mouthful of pizza, if you would like to come back and share. No, Rosie probably didn't. I don't think that she was able to go. I think she had a myriad of reasons for not being there. But if you'd like to come back and share with the group your other information, we'd be glad to hear it.
All right, thanks. Usually I'm not full of news, but tonight just happens to be one of those days. Tomorrow I'm going to be part of a special event station at the EAA Kid Venture in Oshkosh. It's the largest gathering of airplanes in the world, I believe. A lot of experimental and homebrew and also the big stuff there. They have a big display of warbirds, and one of the highlights tomorrow actually is going to be the Blue Angels are going to be there. So I'll get a chance to see them. So anyway, it's Whiskey 9, Zulu Lima, W9ZL, Fox City Amateur Radio Club, and it'll be at Oshkosh. Tomorrow it will be on 40 meters and 20 meters. Today it was 7.250 and 14.270. So they usually kind of stick around for that, for the general bands, from 9:30 till 2:30 Central Time. And people do a good job of spotting us on the cluster. We have a nice QSL card that we send out that's different every year, so people enjoy that. And there'll also be a few YLs that'll be working tomorrow also. So if I don't happen to be on the radio when you call in, give them a shout and just see if I'm around so I can certainly chat with you. Last thing on the list is Frieza Anaceto GW3TRZ. Quite a few of us have been lucky enough to receive some of her embroidery handiwork, and mine is hanging in my shack, and I just absolutely love it. She would like to join ARRL, and she suggested soliciting sponsors for her membership. So I'm going to send in her application and pay for it just to start out to get her going. So anybody who would be wanting to contribute toward that cause can mail a check to me using the address on my QRZ page, or if you just want to make a contribution on your own just to be nice, you can certainly do that. But Teresa said that she'd be willing to make more embroidery pieces, just you would need to specify the call sign. She suggested a price of $5 each, which I think is like way underpricing. If you've seen these, couple people have posted theirs and she's posted theirs. They're absolutely beautiful. Okay, I heard a little ding, and I wasn't sure if that was the repeater timing out. So anyway, if anybody wants to partake in this You can Facebook me directly for more information, or email me on my QRZ page has my email address, so you can do a link through that. Please don't do it through the YLRL chat, because I don't always see all those postings because there tends to be so many of them. So thank you so much for listening, and hope to hear you tomorrow on the special event station again, and I'll post that information as well in the chat room.
Oh, very good. Thank you for coming back with all that. Yeah, that sound is important. That's your Echolink warning you of imminent cutoff. That's your Echolink timeout. Hopefully set to 150 seconds so that it times and cuts you off before it cuts a repeat off. So great. We'd like to know more about if you could post it here on the EL. That would be great for an EL tip for Theresa. I'd love to get a little bit more information on her and some contact information from her, or if you could post her, she has information right there, if you could post her call signs, just give us a little more information. This is new to me, so I'm very interested. And everybody's like, and I got some of this, and I got some like, wait a minute, I don't know about this. Yeah, and see, I see Janine is in agreement. So we'd like to hear a little bit more, or if you could post a little bit more, that would be awesome. Also, the special event station, I am familiar with Oshkosh. I did take, I was into flying at one time and did take some flying lessons, and I'm familiar with Oshkosh. It is the fly-in of the U.S. It's a huge, huge event if you're into airplanes. And the EAA is, I believe it's Experimental Aircraft Association. And if I remember that right, it has been years. And I made notes here. So it's Whiskey 9 Zulu Lima. Looking for you. I did see something spotted on there today before my internet modem locked up and did weird things. I had to pull the plug. I was checking that out and noticed that they were on this morning. I'm always looking for special event stations. I think Dawn really enjoys that as well, chasing special event stations. Hard knows that, yeah, call signs and names, I hear you, Ann. 40 and 20 meters, thank you for that. And any information on Theresa's embroidery? See, that's what I get for not paying attention to my Echolink. It yelled at me, and I'm like, oh, it's still just rolling right along. I'd like to know more about the embroidery, and we'll be looking for the special event, a special event tomorrow on 20 and 40s. Thank you for that information. We'll look that up. And, oh, cool, Ann, thank you. Scrolling up here while you were talking, I'm looking up here with my eyes, and Catherine, like a million years ago, said a quick word. And she never pinged it again for me, so I didn't even know she had something to say. And we will cover Rosemary and Margaret will also at Winnipeg, so we will definitely get them on as well. But let's first put this over to Catherine. If you still have a quick word, AC4YL, AG4YL, and Annette.
No worries at all, AC4YL here. I didn't want to interrupt the Winnipeg stories and stuff that Ann had to share, so no problem at all. I just wanted to take a quick minute and give a special welcome to Ann, KC1G, and S. And I'm not sure if it's Jean or Jeannie, so I apologize if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, but KN4EUX. It looks like both of these YLs are fairly newly licensed. In fact, looking at QRZ.com, it looks like Jean may have just got her license. The date is yesterday, so I'm not sure if she just got her call yesterday, but that's awesome. So I just wanted to give a special congratulations to both of those YLs on passing their technician exam, and welcome you ladies to the YL OpNet. And I know that I think there were some comments in the chat that they're trying to keep up with everything on the net here. So just real quick for those ladies there, Anne and Rosemarie and Margaret attended a Clara birthday bash in Winnipeg, and that's what Anne was telling us about. Basically, it's the Canadian Ladies Amateur Radio Association celebrated 50 years, and they had an event there. So a lot of YLs traveled there with some with their OMs and participated in a nice event and get-together there. So that's what Anne was referring to, and don't worry if some of the things we talk about don't make a lot of sense yet, but we'd love to have you on the net. We meet every Thursday right here on the ALARA conference node here on Echolink. So we'd love to have you ladies back with us, and you can watch any of the previous nets that we have posted and recorded, thanks to Lauren, on the YouTube YL OpNet channel. So I can give a link for that in the chat room for you. And also there's a Facebook group, and I'll make sure I repost that link for you as well. So just wanted to give a warm welcome to those ladies, and I'll pass it back to Mel, AG4YL in the net, AG4YL.
All right, thank you so much, Catherine. For those ladies that are new to the net and joining us for the first time or two or three, Catherine, AC4YL, is the founder of this net. She founded it in late October, I believe, of 2014. And I have been an avid listener and participated since January of 2015, when it was still pretty young. And it all comes down to you ladies. The interest in this net has really grown since then. And if you want to know more about those links, if you go to Catherine, her QRZ page, that's for those that are new, that's QRZ.com. And if you go to the QRZ page and you type in AC4YL, you'll get her information. It's kind of like the phone book for hams. It gives you your information, and it's really easy to get on it, register in the website and get on there and edit your information and make sure that you update it, and you put in an email, and it's easy. There's a lot of places that do email redirects. Members of ARRL get an email redirect for free. You can also get one at, what is it, Catherine? Is it HamQTH? That's the one that also does redirects. Anyway, you can find them out there. There's a lot of free areas for you to get redirects. So you don't have to put your email out there for just every ham to see. Your personal email, you can do a redirect, but make sure you kind of update that. Put a little bio in there. Anyway, I digress. Catherine, AC4YL's QRZ page has the Facebook link and the YouTube link for the YL OpNet. So you can always go to our page, write down our call sign, and click on those links. Sometimes that's a little easier too if you have a hard time finding it. Pause for a reset. Yes, Catherine, I think it might be qth.net. Yeah, I think you're right there. Catherine has popped in the links for that in the chat. And it is for YLs only, so you do need to ask to join the YL OpNet, and we will approve you, not a problem, but to keep it a YL only group, a place where YLs can feel comfortable, and it's a nice safe space just for YLs. And again, for those of you that are new to the hobby, YL is a female ham radio operator. It stands for young lady, and it doesn't matter your age. You can be an 80-year-old YL or a 8-year-old YL. The counterpart is OM, Oscar Mike, and that stands for old man, and it comes from early days of telegraphy, when of course men were the ones that operated, and it was kind of a slang. Okay, old man, and it became OM, CW shorthand. So, for those of you that already knew that, sorry to digress, but we were all there at one time and didn't know what YL and OM were. So I'd just like to kind of give that to some of you that don't understand the meanings of that. Now, Jenny was out there, M0HZT, waving her arms frantically, saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. So Jenny, M0HZT, a G4YL in a net.
Thank you there, Molly. On the 19th, Anne, KC9YL, called me. Something happened, we couldn't kind of get connected. So our video was done. I would like to thank all those who were in that video for the lovely birthday greetings. Thank you very much. That made my day. Thank you very much. Back to you, Melanie.
No problem. I'm sure from all the ladies out there, Rosemarie must take leave of us at this time. And there she goes. I was going to say 33, and she is gone. Yes, so glad that you ladies, again, we look after each other, and I like to congratulate each other on our celebrations and band together for things that aren't so great, and that's kind of what this is all about. It's neat. Okay, KJ9NYL, you have to go. Well, I'm glad that you joined us. Thanks so much for being here with us, and I hope that you have a marvelous weekend, and hopefully, Janine, we will see you next week. 33. All right, so, Margaret, well, I am, yep, she says, cool, yeah, awesome. Margaret, well, first of all, okay, yes. Sorry, I'm not really organized right now. Margaret, 87MB, are we going to have an HF, a WildNet on HF this evening? And if so, do you know yet where it's going to be? I know I'm a little early in, but the way we all get to chatting, it'll be 10 after 9, and we might not be up there with that. I don't see her chatting anything. I'm not even quite sure she's still with us. She's probably off the end of the page. Anyway, for those that aren't familiar, there's a WildNet on HF, usually at 14288. Every Thursday evening at 9 o'clock Central, which would be 9 o'clock Eastern. God, I told you. I warned you all. 9 o'clock Eastern, which is 1 o'clock Zulu time. So those that have HF capabilities, we always like to encourage you to go in and check out the WOW HF net. Let me pause for a reset. Sheesh. I think I need a cold adult beverage. All right. So at 1 o'clock Zulu time, usually we have a HF net up on 20 meters, and it's usually at 14.288. And even though this net runs until 9:30 Eastern, another half an hour after that time. We encourage you, if you have HF capabilities, to go and check in. Talk to the YL, see if they can hear you or you can hear them, and have a good time doing that. If you like to come back after chatting, that's great. If you're done before the net's over. If you want to leave and go do whatever you want to do, that is fine as well. But this net does run until 9:30 Eastern or 1:30 UTC. So we encourage you to have fun. It's all about getting active and having fun. Dead as a doornail right now. Dang. Well, all right there. Yeah, Linda. Yeah, I'm right there, you know. But we'll see if Margaret comes back and says anything to us or throws anything in the chat. She'll usually keep up on that. Of course, there wasn't anything last week because of the Clara birthday bash, and so we kind of missed out on that. Rosemary had left us and had to go, and I was hoping that I would see Margaret around so that she could also fill us in since she was there as well. But okay. I guess I don't see her in the chat. Maybe she can't chat. Oh, there she is. Hi. You know, when you have a lot of names up on the screen on the conference, they disappear past the bottom of the line and you can't see them anymore. So I would love to hear from Margaret 87MB. I know she's out there. She was out there at the birthday bash, and also since Anne's not with us tonight, probably she would be the one doing the HF net. So Margaret 87MB, AG4YL in the net. Okay, perhaps she is, she's here, but perhaps she is doing something. I have no audio, no transmission from Margaret, so not sure if you want to try again. Margaret, we would love to hear from you. If you'd like to come on, maybe you're just listening only and you're busy doing other things, but if you'd like to come on and share. Oh, forgot to press the button. Awesome. I needed to hear that tonight. I don't feel nearly so bad, okay? 87MB, AG4YL in the net.
Okay, now I think I'm transmitting. We're going to try 14.288. That's where we usually hang out. And we got signals showing, so not quite sure where they're coming from, but we'll try it and see what happens. And as far as Winnipeg is concerned, we had a great time. Weather was beautiful. We left here Saturday morning and got in early, mid-morning on Monday. Monday, I think it was. Or was it Tuesday? Tuesday. Okay. Anne from Wisconsin and I shared her laptop when we had a sked with the ladies from Australia down under, and that was really an interesting experience. There were 3 laptops in the conference room, and all of us were talking to them. So we kind of divided up among the laptops, and so we could hear what we were saying, and then we would hear it come back through the laptops. So that was really kind of cool.
My husband was trying to get in upstairs, but couldn't get in because of all of the laptops downstairs. I guess they took up all of the bandwidth that the hotel had. And then we didn't do quite as many things as Ann did. I'm not sure what I was doing, but I was busy the whole time. And meeting people that I'd talked to for years and never had met before, meeting new people that I'd never met before but have now, and they're going to become fast friends also. And then we left, let's see, Friday morning and got back here Sunday evening, and had a good trip both ways. Weather was good both ways, a little on the warm side, but with an air-conditioned car, well, who cares? So I would definitely do it again, and I would definitely recommend that anybody who has the chance to do it, it's great to be able to meet face-to-face people that you've been talking to for years and years. So with that, I will turn it back over to you. This is the eStarter MD.
Well, thank you so much, Margaret. And I agree. I think that meeting, just putting not necessarily the face because you can see pictures, but actually meeting face-to-face, having the eyeball QSO is really that next, it's a great step. Meeting on the air is one, but having an eyeball QSO is just the icing on the cake, I guess you could call it. And I know that at Dayton this year, Catherine and I finally met Linda, KC8PKY, and we met, where is Cake 2 in Winnipeg, my goodness. Catherine helped me. We met so many people that we had only talked to on Echolink or conversed through emails. A lot of the gals from the ALARA we met face-to-face, and Catherine is not helping me. Who else did we meet that's on here a lot, Catherine? Oh. Okay, so anyway, the eyeball QSO is really, really important, and I think it was wonderful to be able to do that and meet some more royals that we hadn't met at Dayton. We were able to meet Ann, WB1ARU last year at Dayton, as well as, let's see, there you go, thank you. Carol, Rhea, Andrea, Susie, thanks. She's so good. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think about. Bless her heart, Carol. I've been talking to her and corresponding with her for 2 years. I never met her before. Let me pause here for a reset. Okay, so ladies, as we were talking about earlier, there's a HFYLnet, and Margaret, 87MB, is going to see if anybody's out there, and she's going to start calling CQYL here, 14288, 14288. So if you want to go play some HF on 20 meters, please see if you can hear her or she can hear you. Oftentimes I can hear the gals and they just can't hear me. I think I've successfully been able to be heard maybe twice. But then, I have a compromised antenna situation here. But please check it out. This net will be going on for an additional 26.5 minutes. and our feelings will not be hurt a bit if you want to leave this net and go play a little HF with the YLs over there on 14288. So check it out, see how things happen. If there's QRM, she will move up or down. Usually try up 3 first and then down 3 to see if she can get clear of the QRM and you guys can play some HF radio with the YL. So check it out if you like. Yes, Catherine K4SF Carol, that is correct. We met a lot of the great gals that we had only talked to or gotten onto the net and or emailed. So it was a lot of fun, and Admiral Cuso was really just. Oh, Cheryl! I was trying to think of Cheryl and NWB1ARU and Cheryl. Whiskey, help me. WBV. Is it she a W call? Marcia in 8FE. Yes, we met Marcia too this year and last year, and always so much fun. Anyway, y'all don't care about that. Is there anybody else that wants to talk about what's been going on? Now, we had a few gals, as I mentioned earlier, join us since we had check-ins, and I think that was Judy and Carol and Rosemarie is coming on. Leah, CJ, Alita, Stephanie, any of you gals want to come up in there and call and do a little formal check-in, if you will, you're welcome to do so now. This is AG4YL.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Hotel Uniform. I'd like to say good evening to everybody here from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. We're having a very strange summer this year. The weather's been crazy. We've had a lot of rain. My garden's going absolutely crazy. I'm picking beans, peas. I picked all my raspberries. My blackberries aren't quite ready yet, but my runner beans are coming along nicely. My pole beans, they're coming along. Yeah, just a crazy summer this year. I've got the weekend off Saturday and Sunday, and it's looking to be in the mid-20s to upper 20s, so looking forward to having a nice weekend after working 8 days straight. So anybody else want to check in? That's great. I'll say over for now.
44 UPI.
Well, geez, how about that? Good to hear you, Laurie. Come on back and tell us what you've been up to and say hello to the gang. It's been a while.
Good evening, Melanie. Good evening, everyone. This is Laurie, K4UPI, and you ladies are just sounding fantastic tonight. It's so good to hear you on, and congratulations on such a thriving net that you and Catherine have continued on. It's just such a pleasure to hear you continuing the effort and how many wonderful YLs have joined the net. I recently played radio with 13 Colonies, had a lot of fun. Was not able to get one of the bonuses, but just had a great time. Did a second round for most of the states, but it just felt so good to get back on the radio and be active again. I hear a lot of familiar voices. Nisi, want to put out a special hello to you. You're sounding super as always, and hope everyone is doing well. I'll give it back to Net Control, and Melanie, thank you so much again, you and Catherine, for a wonderful net. This is K4UPI.
It's always good to hear you, Laurie. And, you know, it's, you know, we didn't do anything. It's the ladies out there that make the net. It's everybody out there checks into this net and then hangs in there with us. And as always, it's wonderful to hear you on the net. Again, a little bit of history for those of you that don't know. Laurie was Catherine's alternate net control from the beginning, and was instrumental. And I miss hearing you take that first Thursday of every month. So, but I'm glad to hear you got to play a little radio again, the 13 colonies, and I finally got to play this year, and I hadn't played before, and I finally got to play 13 colonies this year, and I managed to clean sweep and the William Penn bonus. Never heard Great Britain. Heard everybody talking to Great Britain, but never heard Great Britain. So I couldn't work them. You can't hear them, you can't work them, right? But that's wonderful. I'm so glad you got to get back on and play, and I'm surprised I didn't hear you, but I guess us being so close. Laurie is from right here in the north suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia. So she is a local with us, and we couldn't make the meeting the club meeting last Tuesday, but always look forward to it, and hopefully we'll be able to meet up next month in just a couple, 3 weeks. So thank you for coming on there. Catherine, would you like to say hello and say your piece to the gals? Haven't said a whole lot, and yes, and good night to you as well. If you're still on here and haven't disconnected, good to hear you. Thanks for sharing everything tonight. Catherine, AC4YL, we haven't heard a lot from you this evening. Would you like to come on and say hello to the gals, and perhaps if Laurie's still listening on RF to Laurie as well. AC4YL, AG4YL, and the net.
Well, thanks, Melanie. Appreciate it, and it's wonderful to hear you, Laurie. I hope you are still listening in. We most definitely miss hearing your lovely voice here on the net on Thursdays, but so glad you're able to pop in tonight, and I hope you can do it a little more often. But I know you probably can't see the chat, but several of the gals in the chat said hello. Dawn says hello, and Nisi says hello, and Stephanie KN4DVO says hello, and I'm sure some of the other gals that have been on for a long time would like to say hi too. So it's so good to hear you, and thanks for all your help in getting this net going. And you know, like Melanie and I always say, it's all the ladies here that make this net successful. It has really nothing to do with one individual. It's the conglomeration of all of us YLs together that make this net so successful. So with that, to encourage all of you ladies to please invite other ladies, continue to invite them here to the net. It continues to grow and thrive thanks to all of you, and it takes all of our efforts to do that. It's really become such a wonderful place for us to get together and chat and catch up and enjoy playing radio and talking about playing radio and encouraging each other to play radio and learn more about it. So thanks to all of you for that. You've got the 27 check-ins this evening, which I think if it's not a record, it's darn close. And isn't it ironic that it's the 27th of July, still on Eastern time here, and we have 27 check-ins. Unless I missed somebody, and I'm sure Melanie and I will be checking our logs in a bit. But I'll pass it back over to you there, Melanie. And good evening to all of you ladies out there, and thanks so much again. AC4YL, back to net control.
Well, thank you very much, Catherine, and I am so glad to be a part of this net. So, with that being said, any ladies out there in our last 15 or 16 minutes, first of all, let me apologize again for coming on a little bit late today and having a few technical issues. Put us about 5 minutes late with starting the net. I do appreciate everybody that shows up for the net. We didn't get into some of the, meat and potatoes, but you know, not every meal has to be heavy. Sometimes it's nice to have some snacks and tidbits and appetizers, and that's kind of the way I look at it. We had plans to look into some things on spotting networks today, and some you know, propagation, band conditions sites, and a little bit like that. Really didn't get too much of time to do that and get too technical. I will say, I will make a quick comment on something we talked about last week, and please go to the Facebook page. It's the YLOpNet Facebook group. Please just search your groups, YLOpNet, 3 words, and if you're not a member, just ask to join and we'll approve you. It is a group just for WILEs, or maybe ham radio operators. You can read what the group is about. I wrote a little something there on the group description, and it's pretty much what this is about. It's intended to get and stay active in amateur radio and have fun. And I think the contributions from everybody here, again, as we were saying, you ladies make the net because your contributions are fantastic. And one of the questions that we had come up on we follow the Facebook page. We follow what you gals are commenting on and saying, and we watch that and read that and talk about those things. We pause for reset. And one of the things that we talked about last week were spotting sites and bandcondition.com. And those links are up there. I've pinned them to the top of the net. I'm going to leave them there this week again. Usually I pin a new post every week, but I'm going to leave it pinned up there this week, I think, unless Catherine has an objection to that. But it will be up there, and I encourage you to check out some of the links and play around with some stuff and look at some different things and see what you like the best. But bandconditions.com is it's almost like beacons, and they have a really good explanation on their site as to exactly what they do and what they're about. And I think link to Facebook says it doesn't exist. Okay, Catherine, can you help, please? CJ's having some problems there with the Facebook. But let me bring this up really quickly here because I've got this. Okay, bandconditions.com, and let's see what we have here, shall we? What are you doing here? You're so easy to distract. Yeah, okay. You want to try this? Okay. So, bandconditions.com, what they do and how it works. If you go to their little instructions, it kind of explains a little bit about what it is. It was originally designed to be an experimental website. Mind you, anything that's on bandconditions.com, all this information is subjective to where you are, and it's not, as with anything ham radio, there's not really anything that's just nailed down, absolute, it is this way, and that is it. Let me reset real quick here. Okay. However, with that in mind, it's fun and neat to kind of look at and see how the bands have been doing. Especially, you can look at things and see a trend over a day or longer. But the pages, it says here, shows the actual real-time conditions of the 80 to 15 meter bands across the continental U.S., with the exception of Alaska. Reports are generated and uploaded to the web server every 30 seconds. and you don't have to refresh it. It will refresh automatically for you. You don't have to worry about it. It's not based on prediction or satellite readings. It's based on ionospheric sounding. It's called HF ionospheric interferometry. And it's they have based on a 1-watt transmitter connected via RG8X coax to a half-wave dipole 25 feet high with the major lobe facing east-west. A band condition that provides a minimum of a 3-hop circuit, i.e. 3 reflections, 3 landings, and 3 skip zones, is assigned a value of 100. So it's interesting on how these sound or how these work. And if you look at the band condition site and click on information or instructions, I should say, it's really kind of interesting. It gives you a graph on each band that sort of gives you an idea of what your operational conditions are. At 100, best for 1 watt or less QRP portable, band wide open, 70 to 100 reliable SSB QSOs, 100 watts or less in the antenna, 51 to 69 sideband requires an amp SDX for antennas with main lobes 36 degrees from horizon, 36 to 50 SSB requires amp DX with main lobes 0 to 30 degrees from horizon, and so forth and so on. Let me reset. Uh, 19 to 35, near vertical incident, NBIS type antennas work best here, typically single hop circuits, regional QSOs only, 0 to 18 ground wave only, typically 25 to 35 miles. Vertical antennas work best here. And when you first start to look at this stuff, when I first looked at this, I was like, well, okay. What does all that mean? So, your mileage may vary. It's fun to look at. It's fun to see how close it is. I use this along with my favorite spotting network, which is the X-Seat. I just like the way it's set up and how you can change the filters on it very quickly. And you can look and see who's being spotted where. And sometimes the band conditions will say, oh, it's really, really bad. It'll be like 19 to 35 in the red. And you're looking and there's all these cues going on, not following really what the band conditions say, and that's ham radio. There are no guarantees. There's also some links down there that says band conditions for the last 10 minutes, the last 1 hour, the last 24 hours, and there's a band stability index on band trends, rising, falling, or stable. And the band is fairly stable with a little or no change, or the band is getting better, or the band is getting worse. It's really kind of fun just to look at, and does it really, I mean, do you run your ham life by it? No. But it's another fun tool to look at I love graphic displays, and I love to see things, and I also love to prove them wrong or right. And it's just kind of interesting to me. Anyway, I'm going to pass this back out to the net in the last 8 or so minutes that we have here. I would love to hear from y'all. Do you have any comments? Things that have been going on with you, comments on what we've talked about the net tonight, or suggestions for other nets, or talk about the YouTube channel or Facebook, please call now.
AC4YL.
Okay, Catherine. Michelle, I see you came in too right underneath Catherine. If you're staying by just a moment, go ahead, Catherine. AC4YL, AG4YL on the net.
Well, that's actually perfect, because I was just going to ask to see if Michelle could tell us about Ham Holiday, so cool. Back to you, Mel. That's all I had.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for following that etiquette, but I wouldn't mind if you wanted to direct that right to her. Michelle, W5MQC, the mic is yours.
Well, good evening, Melanie and Annette. I can tell you, I had so much fun at Ham Holiday, and after having done HamCon, it was just so different. I was trying to figure out what was different about it because, you know, to me, HamCon seemed, it was very product. There was a lot of product, a lot of discussion about products. Yes, there was some relationship, but Ham Holiday, even though it was completely and utterly sold out of tables and product everywhere, it was more personal. And I don't know, maybe it was because there were some people from my club there, but even other people were commenting, wow, everybody around here seems to get along, even the clubs, with each other. And so we really did have a good time. I think I spoke the whole time. And one of my very favorite, well, I had many favorite conversations, but one of my favorites was meeting with Eva Knapp, N5EVA. She is a 15-year-old young lady who got her extra ticket when she was 13. So we spent some time talking, and she's going to be calling CQ from the Batfish in December, and has invited me to go with her, and I'm going to bring my 2 grandsons. So we will be calling from in a submarine. So that's going to be fun and something to look forward to. I also spent a lot of time with Barb from Ladies on the Air. She does a YLNet on Tuesday nights on the 2-meter linked repeater system in the Kansas, Oklahoma area. But I spent so much time with so many ladies, and we all had such a great time. It was really, really awesome. I'm going to pause for a reset. And I have one more small but tiny kind of little announcement. District 5 is going to host the 2018 YLRL convention next year. We haven't figured anything out. We just found out about it. So as soon as I have details like time, place, all that, I think we're going to try and stay around the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. But nothing is solid. We're still putting together the committee, so I will have everything later. I will turn it over back to you, W5MQC.
Awesome, very good, Michelle. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing day information with us. And meeting, you know, we were talking about earlier, those eyeball QSOs are just terrific, and meeting new friends and new people as well. Really a lot of fun, and it's interesting how different ham fests, we'll just call them all ham fests, ham cons, ham conventions, whatever. It's interesting how different ham fests in different areas, whether they're large or small, how they can all feel very different to one another, and just even sometimes the people can make it a lot different. There's an Atlanta Ham Fest. It actually is here in Marietta. I could almost walk to it. It's just a few miles down the road from where I'm talking to you from now, and it is held by 2 clubs. A club here in the Marietta area that when I first became licensed, I was a member of, which I'm not a member of that one. I'm a member of a different club, but the Atlanta Radio Club and the Chattahoochee Amateur Radio Club put on the Atlanta Ham Fest right here in Marietta, and it's small, you know, it's relatively low. It's certainly not Dayton or Orlando by any means. It's a much smaller scale. They do have forums. They have a pretty good-sized tailgate, I will say that. and they have a lot of fun. It's usually very busy. Of course, they do have the big guns, you know, like Quicksilver and HRO and so forth and so on that come in. But the feeling between something that is relatively local and smaller in size, you put that up against Huntsville Hamfest. Huntsville has a reputation for being the friendliest Hamfest on earth, and they are. Let me pause for reset. Huntsville is much larger, much, you know, it's big, it's laid out, it brings people in from really all over. It's huge, it's all indoors, it's at the Von Braun Center, it's really nice, big forum rooms, big forums, big testing, big everything there. It's, again, it's not as large as something like, you know, Orlando or Dayton, but it's a great Hamfest, and I'll speak for myself, my favorite Hamfest. And I've been to Dayton, I've been to Orlando, I've been to the small little guys, you know, locally, and it's amazing how much different the feel is at different Hamfests. It just goes down to the people. A lot of it is just the way it's run, the love that goes into it. They really put a lot of love into it. They really just want to have a good time, and everybody there just has a wonderful time. And it's a good one to go to and see. So, again, I digress. I'm so glad that she had a wonderful time there and met some great gals. And amazing about the young lady. They get licensed so early as an extra, and really quite nice. And yes, I had heard about the ladies of the net. I knew about the 2-meter. Of course, it being a local, you know, can't participate, but it's wonderful to hear more wiles out there and getting active and having nets and getting licensed and really of all ages and really having a good time. And congratulations on District 5 being the site of the ALARA convention. That's fantastic news, and I know you will really have a great hand in it, and will help to make it a wonderful experience for all. And with that, it's the end of the net. Any last minute check-ins before we close the net, please call now.
This is WA4YL. Just want to say 33 and good night to everyone, and catch you all next week.
Whiskey Alpha 7 Alpha Lima. Enjoyed the net. Glad I remembered tonight, and it was good hearing you all. And I'll try to be better. WA7AL.
Just want to say I was happy to finally make it back here toward the end of the net. I had a lot going on, but I will re-listen the net here a little later on. Thanks again. Good net as always. And 33, KC9 GHV.
Well, thank you, ladies. I really appreciate it, and please don't forget to visit please don't forget to visit our WildUpNet Facebook group at WildUpNet. Search those groups on Facebook. You should get there. If you have any trouble, please feel to email either myself or Catherine. I am AG4YL, and Catherine is AC4YL. You can email either one of us at our call sign at arrl.net. And that information is also available on both of our QRZ pages, as well as links to both the Facebook group and to the YouTube page, where you can re-listen, as Lauren said, to this net. The recording is posted on the Facebook page. And speaking of Lauren, we would like to thank her for all her help in getting this net recorded and making it available to all through YouTube. And we'd also like to thank ALARA, of course, for use of this Echolink conference node, Northfolk Amateur Radio League for the Dewdrop-In chat room, and all linked and listening for your ongoing support of this net. This is Melanie, AG4YL, closing the While Up net this evening and returning the ALARA conference node back to normal use. 33, and see you next week.